Hello once again, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of AIW's The Card is Going to Change. Before we get into this week's episode, of course, a shout out to our sponsors who help us bring the show to you for free each and every week on whichever platform you choose to listen. Thanks to Pollyanna DIY. They make amazing enamel pins, as well as all sorts of other merchandise. So make sure you check out Pollyanna DIY. They can do custom things for you.
Amazing.
They sell them on the internet.
That's true.
E is for enamel.
Yeah, there you go.
Can't stop, won't stop making the enamel pins.
Perfect. Also, thanks to Angelo's Pizza. We have their pizza at our live events. If you want to try more than just the cheese or pepperoni or one of their other delicious dishes, check out the award-winning Angelo's Pizza. Thank you. On Madison Avenue in beautiful Lakewood, Ohio. And, of course, thanks to our, I guess, what would we call them? Streaming and video partners, Smart Mark Video. Now slash IWTV. The merge has happened. You can sign up still using the code ABSOLUTE at independentwrestling.tv and watch some AIW archives, but also
Start your free trial.
But also coming up on independentwrestling.tv is AIW streaming live February 7th from the Odeon in downtown Cleveland. So check it out there. Then you could buy it after the fact if you really loved it at Smart Mark Video on DVD as well as MP4. All of our latest shows, I believe, are on there. Maybe not too, maybe it's too cold outside.
That's the one we're waiting on.
That's it. Everything else is there, including an amazing Hell on Earth, which had an incredible attendance. I don't know if I want to say record, but it was great. Awesome time there.
Probably pretty close.
Yeah.
What's up there?
With that, we get into this week's episode. We are joined by Alex Worldwide Keller. Who already strutting in his sweatpants, hoping to join Faye Jackson's Battle Royal.
I'm not the member of Weird World for that one. I'll cop to that.
Fair enough. Also joined by the six-figure man, the Golden Boot Hoss Division champion, manager of the Bitcoin Boys.
Is he a seven-figure man for Faye Jackson's Battle Royal?
No, I am not, and I am back from the dead, and we'll probably get into that shortly.
We will.
Happy to have you here.
Yeah, we're happy that you're still here. And of course, as always, AIW owner John Thorne, and my name is Steve Guy, your moderator of sorts. And we just, we got some catching up to do here.
We can moderate some shorts right now.
Yeah.
Heatwave, Duke's rocking them.
He is. It's a beautiful.
I do have my gray shorts on. I don't know if that counts.
I don't know.
For Faye Jackson.
I'm not sure. But it's like 50 degrees out today, I think. No, not today.
Good thing we're in the AIW studios and not outside.
You can wear the shorts here, as always. Well, let's talk about this, Duke, because
all right,
you didn't make it to maybe it's too cold outside.
I know a lot of people are probably waiting for us to do some of the reviews, but let's just riff a little bit today, I guess.
Yeah. We haven't seen the Duke in a long time.
Well, I saw the Duke. He finally.
You did, yeah.
He finally got out of the house the other day, and
where was the first place I went when I got out of the house?
The casino.
You goddamn right.
And how'd you do?
I did average. I lost about $1,000.
My hot streak keeps going. Today, actually, I went to put these pants on, because I wore them to the casino.
$20 in your
I found a $25 chip. I didn't.
Chip. All right.
I won $2 on a $2 scratch off today. Well, $4.
My hot streak.
Look at you.
My hot streak.
See, that's part of the portfolio for Tampa is to go to the casino and just try to make as much money as possible.
I was trying to win my flight, and I think I was close.
Close?
I'm close to winning my flight. So
Good. Well, I'm glad I could help.
Yeah.
I mean, the last few times I went to the casino were atrocious. So
yeah, well, apparently you got to go with me because then I absorb all the negative energy. And
you left actually. After you left, I was there for hours longer.
Really?
I didn't leave until probably like 5 p.m.
Oh wow! Yeah, I had to go watch football, so I
had to go watch football.
Well, I was meeting another friend of mine at Corner Alley. So
what football's happening right now?
Nothing right now.
It was playoff football.
NFL. I don't care. I can't burn a couch for some other game.
NFL playoffs. Still one more round until the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I was on lockdown for like 5 weeks, and so the first thing I did when I decided to go out was go to the casino, have a couple double Johnny Walkers, play some cards.
How's the price on those Johnny Walkers compared to Hilarity?
$16 for black for a double, which
isn't too bad.
Isn't terrible.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, 16.
It's
for
like
a double.
12 or 13 at a normal bar for a double. So there's 16 there, so that's not bad. I asked her if she had anything better, and she's like, well, not down here. You got to go to the VIP. She's like, I will go get you a bottle of blue if you're going to be here for a while. And I said, no, that's okay. Let me see how I do first, because that's a little more expensive. But
how are you not in the VIP yet? You don't go there now.
That's the
you
second.
Really don't.
That is the second time I've been downtown to the casino. I don't go downtown very much because I'd rather go to the MGM places so I can get more points on my cards and stuff. But it's fine. I mean, I got there at like 10:30 in the morning on Sunday, so it wasn't super crowded, and I was able to sit down and play. And Thorne and I had a couple of drinks and talked about how great the wrestling business is. And
we're just I was catching Duke up. He's been incapacitated for weeks.
Do you want to tell people what was going on?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll try to give you as short a version as possible. But so about a week before Thanksgiving, I think the Monday before Thanksgiving, I start getting this cough, and I was like, oh crap, I'm getting sick. So I was like, told work, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay home one day. I'm just gonna stay in bed and see if I can kick it. So I did that, and it just kept coming. And the Friday morning before Thanksgiving, I woke up and I started coughing, and next thing I know, I woke up laying down on my bed. What had happened was I passed out because I was coughing so hard, knocked my head against my dresser, and knocked myself backwards. Jeez. So I was like, oh, that's kind of fucked up. So I didn't think anything of it because it didn't happen again for like 10 days. But then like the 1st of December, it started happening like 2 or 3 times a day. And I wasn't ready for it. So I was falling in my bedroom. I was banging my face. I don't know if you guys remember the...
Yeah, I remember that picture.
I saw the picture that you posted.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
I was banging my face off my bed frame and my dresser. I had 2 black eyes. I had blood. My corneas were bruised. They were full of blood.
Not the way you want to hit the head on the headboard.
No.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was falling in the bed. One time, actually, recently, I actually fell out of the shower. I was taking a shower, and I was just kind of standing there, and I fell backwards, passing out, and I went through the curtain and ended up on
I was about to ask
the floor.
If you had a curtain or like a glass door.
Luckily, I had a curtain. I went right through the curtain and woke up on the floor. But so anyway, long and short of it is I kept doing this. So I went to a doctor. I went to the doctor. That was the only, and he was like, I don't really know what's going on. Gave me a couple things. And
Those doctors never seem to know what's going on.
Well, they're like, okay, so then I go to work on the 9th, and I pass out at work, bang my head on my desk, fall down in my office.
Wow.
They hear it, they call the squad. So the squad comes, and insight to my life, my mother works for the city of Westlake, so she at the fire station, so she knows everybody in the squad. So when the squad comes and picks me up, she knows about it.
They already alerted her.
Yeah, so she's like, there's no way I'm not going to the hospital. So I got to go to the hospital. So I spend 2 days in the hospital. They give me not MRIs. They give me CAT scans with dye. They give me echocardiograms. I'm wearing a heart monitor. I got ultrasounds on my carotid arteries. I got all this shit going on. Basically, every time they do something, they come back and go, it isn't that. We don't know what's... So my heart is fine. My lungs are fine. Everything's fine. They tried to give me an MRI, and they had to immobilize my... It's the old tube MRI.
You scared of that tube?
Well, here's what happened. They locked my head in place, and they're pushing me back in, and that wasn't good enough for them to just lock my head there. They had to put like a saw torture mask on top of my face,
like a bondage mask,
like a catcher's mask, but made of like metal, and they clamped it into the side so I couldn't move my head. And I'm like wheeled in this thing, and I can't see anybody, and I'm like, what if these people leave? I can't get out of here. Like, I'm gonna die in here. So I lasted about 5 minutes in there. I had to squeeze the panic button to get me out of there. So long story short of that, I was in the hospital for 2 days. Nothing is wrong. I talked to 7 doctors while I was in there. They're like, we don't know what the problem is. So I just kept telling them all to make sure they spell my name right when they wrote me up in the journal, and to start calling me patient 0 if they couldn't figure out if they just name it after me, whatever it is. And so they're like, there's nothing else we can do. So they let me out. I couldn't drive. I couldn't really do much of anything. I went to work and went home. That was all I did. On the weekends, I stayed home all the time, did nothing.
Just living with Dukinitis.
Yeah, it was me and my cat.
I was gonna say
just kinda
quality
hanging
time
out.
with Agent Orange.
Yeah, but it was still happening at home. But at that point, I was trying to when I'd start doing it, I'd lay down, I'd kneel down, so I wouldn't fall. And something happened last Saturday. I hadn't passed out for a couple of days, and something happened.
So the passing out was continuously happening.
It slowed
While coughing.
The cough slowed down once it was the new year. The cough slowed down, so the passing out slowed down. It was about once every 2.5 days I was doing it.
That's a lot still.
But it was
Still a lot of passing out. Dude.
well, I mean, compared to 4 times a day, it was a pleasure. And I was waking up in the middle of the night and having half an hour long coughing fits.
Wow.
And yeah, it sucked. And something happened Saturday where I was watching TV and I just felt something in my nose and in my throat that just kind of let go, and it I don't know if something popped or something drained or what, but something happened on Saturday where I didn't feel like I did before, where I could feel it in my throat. I could feel the cough. I could feel myself about to pass out or that it was going to come. I haven't felt that way since Sunday. It hasn't happened since Sunday. I don't really cough much anymore. So I don't know if it's because I went to an ear, nose, and throat person and they gave me antibiotics and I'm doing a saline rinse and all this other bullshit. And something eventually finally worked. So
I think right here, what you have is a business opportunity. You have to set up a charitable foundation, Gamble for the Cure. You can just set up some nice little charity gambling halls. You keep it all for research,
I'll have to think about that.
Nonprofit?
I don't have as much spare time anymore. I had plenty of spare time a few weeks ago. But yeah, so I drove the other day. Everything was fine. I guess
I haven't checked on you to make sure you made it home okay.
Yeah, I know. That's true. He did text me that night. But I think everything's fine now. Because I was never sick. I never had bronchitis or pneumonia or anything like that. It was just something was irritating me to the point of, and I would cough so hard that my heart wouldn't stop, but my body would shut down.
Well, you probably
because I
weren't-
couldn't get oxygen.
I was gonna say you weren't getting enough oxygen.
And so my body would just shut down, and I was only out for seconds every time. If I was watching a TV show or sometimes I'd have Raw on, and it was a 2-minute TV match. I'd go down and I'd come back and it was still on.
Yeah.
So I was
To
out.
be fair, plenty of people are falling asleep during Raw.
Well,
Yeah.
true, but I was only out for 5 seconds at a time, and I would come right back.
What was Agent Orange thinking during all this?
He actually, I feel bad for him because every time I was having the big coughing jags, he was always laying on top of me, next to me or on top of me in bed or whatever, and I'd start coughing and he'd run and hide behind the couch, and he'd hide for 3 hours. And then he would come out, is it okay? And then I'd start doing it again and he'd run back. And so I felt bad for him, but he got over it, I think.
Poor guy. Well, we're glad that you're better. We're glad that you're here doing well. I mean,
You haven't passed out yet?
You haven't passed out yet.
According to all the tests
You're
I
not
had,
sitting here coughing. That was a long-winded.
yeah, it was.
Speaking
with the exception of shockingly high cholesterol, apparently I'm the picture of health. So after all the tests I had,
Is it shocking?
it's shocking was supposed to be sarcastic. It's high, but it's no surprise to any. Shouldn't be a surprise to anybody.
I was surprised that I had. I think I had doctor recently, and I still fucking have really good cholesterol.
What are you wearing right now? What is this T-shirt I just noticed?
Don't even get him going.
I'm sorry.
Don't even get him going.
I did have to tell Hornswoggle. He actually texted me the morning of "Baby, it's cold outside," and I told him I couldn't go, and he was crushed. But I had crushed him even further by telling him that I did not have diabetes. It was official because he enjoys asking me how my beatus is doing all the time.
He wasn't even at Baby, It's Too Cold Outside.
Yeah, he was.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the ICP
Oh,
segment.
that's right. I for some reason, I had
flight
everything.
he didn't get there until after the show had
That's
almost
what
started.
happened. Yeah, we didn't see
Yeah,
him
'cause
earlier
his
on in
flight
the day.
fucking kept on getting delayed.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
Non-beatus, and I ruined his day even further. So
He's a mean little guy, huh?
he is mean.
Yeah, well, little shithead.
Wouldn't you be mean if you were all tiny and had to ask people to get stuff off shelves and
Yeah, I think a quote I heard from a midget once. I think David Lee Roth. He had an entourage of midgets in the '80s. He had a security team that were all midgets that he'd have around with him.
they
just
were
for
all
fun.
weren't they in his videos and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he always kept them around. They were his security squad. And he's like, yeah, one day I asked one of the midgets, hey, man, what's it like being a little dude? And the guy's like, bunch of assholes and elbows.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, so I'm sure Swoggle would agree.
So, can we expect you to be there February 7th to because the Bitcoin Boys have
Despite the fact that I am not on the flyer, I've gotten used to that. I will be there.
they've got quite the opportunity.
I'm not in the match card. I shouldn't say flyer. I should say match
Well,
card.
if you're not participating.
Because as we know, I haven't listened to a lot of the podcasts since I've been gone, but I did hear a little blip of the one where Thorne made it a point to tell everybody that I don't draw anyone there, but I'm still over.
Yeah, you don't draw them in.
Make him happy. Well,
But he was so adamant about it.
I mean, you don't sell. No one's buying a ticket
Oh, sure.
because you're on the car. Ooh.
they feel some type of way afterwards.
I don't know.
He draws them in emotionally once he's there.
Oh, I mean, they like the other stuff there, and then they like to be mean to the Duke. It's like part of the experience.
I
don't
wonder
know about that.
Do you think that this episode will impact people's?
No, I want people to be meaner to him.
Oh no, they'll probably
The true test will be if Duke's out there ringside.
they'll probably
starts
throw like
coughing.
Ludens drops at me or something, or I don't know.
Duke starts coughing at ringside. We'll see how the fans really feel.
Nobody's hopping the rail to catch me if I go down.
Get hit in the head with a neti pot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thorne threw out some stuff here on the Twitter. We get some questions popping up.
On the app.
That's what you call it, the app.
Fucking, it's barely a website, man. No one's going to this. You're on your fucking. You're on.
Isn't it an app?
on your
I mean, I know that you can
It is-
log
it
on.
is-
to what,
and it is
who,
an
who
app.
the hell posts on Twitter on their computer?
That's the question I have because apparently some people just are strictly on their desktop, and I'm like, you're a psycho.
Can't imagine.
I sit in
sitting
front of
there
the
whole
computer
time.
all day, and I've never opened up Twitter on the desktop.
You know,
It's always on
I've
my
only
phone.
I've only done it in recent times to like upload a video clip to Twitter because I don't know how to do it for my phone.
I always get stuck trying to do it on my phone. I can never get them on there.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
they got that 2 minute, 20-second limit.
Yeah, it has to be 2 minutes and 20
Yeah.
seconds.
Though I've seen some videos on Twitter go like 5 minutes.
If you're verified, it's long.
Yeah.
Verified air.
The first question comes from our friends over at Pod Van Dam. Want to know when Ethan Page is returning to AIW?
That is a good question.
One not for us.
I mean, it's been in the works for a while, and it keeps kind of getting postponed because of
busy
impact. Well, impact tapings. They just keep popping up on the dates that I gave them.
Speaking of health issues, best wishes to him too.
What's wrong with him?
He ended up having some sort of
Is he
bad.
stealing my thunder?
Ended up with some sort of really bad flu
Some
situation
kind of flu
or
or something going on last week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's everybody's getting that.
Was shitting
I
his
had,
pants before the
24-hour
pay-per-view.
one fucking
Oh yeah, I saw. Well, yeah, he probably had food poisoning or something.
Well, that's what he thought, and then it turned out he got hospitalized.
well, yeah. Didn't he?
Based on his
I
posting.
thought he said he had food poisoning.
He thought that he did, and then
Salmonella. I thought he said it was.
that's what he thought. Then he got tested and had some sort of flu, according to his post, anyway.
Rhinovirus?
Who ever beat?
Yeah, the rhinovirus. Yeah. So yeah, we don't have that answer as of yet.
Yeah, I mean,
The hope
if we do, we're not giving it away on this podcast. Come
well,
on.
the people have to
Come on,
realize
Bob
this.
Van Dam,
Like,
what are you doing? What are you trying to get free information? Come on.
people got to realize the majority of these, of everybody at this point that has come through AIW that has some tenure, I guess, in the industry is all flirting with or under some sort of contract at this point. And
yeah, they're all doing well.
it's
They're like what tag champs in Impact now?
yeah.
are.
So it's
Tag
like
champs for a long time.
there's nothing. Well, this is a question that I actually got. Well, it wasn't technically delivered to me, but I was listening to Wrestling Cheers, I think, and they were very confused about the contract situations of several different people. And, because they did a poll where they wanted to know who gets a contract, but that's by the end of, who in AIW is going to have a contract by the end of the year. But then they started saying, well, that's that can mean a lot of different things. And they didn't really understand
Yeah, what does that mean?
what's what. So as of this point,
And that's just even getting more flexible by the day with AEW and stuff.
well, as of this point, if you sign to AEW or WWE, that's pretty much it. You're gone. Now I'm hearing rumblings that AEW guys are going to be permitted to do more independence, but I haven't reached out to anybody really because it's just who are we gonna get, and for what? And I assume that those fees have gone up quite a bit.
Yeah, you imagine AEW gets a cut from doing that at this
I mean,
point.
I don't know, honestly. I mean, I
Well, even if they don't, your price is going up. I mean,
Right.
if you sign a contract,
Yeah.
you know.
so just for I guess like explanation, we'll say WWE and AEW guys are pretty much off the
I thought
market.
Ring of Honor guys were too.
Ring of Honor guys also, for the most part, are off the market, but there are some contracts that allow independence. Like, it's very rare, and I'm hearing that is going to change going forward with some people. But a lot of this is just kind of rumor and innuendo, so to speak. MLW contracts are basically, you can only appear on television for MLW, but you can book anywhere else. And that's kind of the same thing with Impact. It's kind of like a television deal, but you can continue to work independence as well.
Is it because I know Impact used to have you're not allowed to be on
DVD,
like DVD.
yeah.
That's changed. That was kind of like Spike TV era Impact, to where that has changed. And, that's so many regimes ago. Like, as of now, it's pretty much just like, hey, like, you have to take our dates. So it's not just TV. It's you must take our dates first over anything. And if you have a date and we offer you a date, you have to take our date. So like, if somebody was booked for AIW and then Impact or MLW was like, oh, we're running this day, they have to go do Impact or MLW, which,
It's been that way for a while, though.
yeah, I mean, but some fans don't understand how that whole thing works. Which is why Dom wasn't on the last Akron show, because he signed with MLW and they had a show that day. So it's ever changing. It's come out, like last week, Janela said that he's going to be working for GCW more. Who knows what's going to happen? You know what I mean? But it's like, I wouldn't get my hopes up if I was an AIW fan and I wanted to see some of these people back or on a regular basis. It's just, the reality of that is not very realistic. And I know a lot of people, as soon as Janela was announced for GCW, they're like, when's he coming back? When's he coming back? AIW students messaging like, when can I wrestle Janela? And it's like, I've not talked to him. I
Come to
assume,
training first.
right. I assume that, GCW was where he would like to go first. He's very connected to them.
Right.
So, like, we're just kind of a stop along the way for a lot of these people. It's not like, we're like the homegrown team or whatever you want to say. So we just kind of got to see how things play out in 2020. And we're already, 3 weeks in, and things are starting to change already. So
It's been a wild couple of weeks.
it has. And speaking of things changing, what has changed in 2020 is people ain't buying their fucking AIW tickets. We still have fucking front row tickets available. That has not happened in legit
Well,
years.
I mean, everyone's like fucking shithoused from Bankwise fucking from goddamn Christmas.
that has not happened in years. Well, that's
For Florida or for our next show?
for
For
February
next year,
7th.
February 7th.
Yeah.
Do you think,
That's why I take January off,
Yeah, you sons of bitches.
but we did discuss, so a long time ago we talked about, as AEW was coming to light, how does this impact independence?
I mean, that could impact the fact that they're coming to Cleveland. That could
it's the week
affect
before.
us.
Do you think, to our discussion earlier, it was because I wasn't on the last show, so people thought maybe I wasn't going to be at this one,
No.
so they didn't buy tickets?
No, they might have said
now
that
that
something was
I've
missing.
announced that I will be there, ticket sales will
No.
boost.
Well, I hope they boost, because
Maybe
I'm a
they'll
little
boost to
nervous.
throw things at you.
I
got
mean, maybe, I don't know.
Fritz von Erich and like Duke's health just goes up and down based on ticket sales.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's the one thing that has been most shocking in recent weeks, and I just like look at the Eventbrite app on my phone, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like the last two shows of the year were just like tickets were flying. And I understand we have Kevin Nash and Insane Clown Posse, and there's not like the big, meet and greet person at the show.
Well, we had
Adam
announced it.
Baum, and he canceled.
We just
You know-
announced our huge meet and greet person.
Oh, the Duke.
The Duke is returned. So, $5 for an autograph. $5.
I gotta pay
for,
$5 for everybody.
Yeah,
Oh man,
$5 for photo opportunity, or the Duke will pay you 10
You heard
for
that?
both.
You get $5 from
Wow.
the Duke. If
You
you
get
go to
$5
I don't know about all that.
autograph.
You get $5.
You get an
for the Duke.
autographed $5 bill from the Duke if you buy a ticket.
So yeah, that has me a little nervous right now as of this recording. You know, it's like
We did such a great job of not having very many Talk John Thorne Off the Ledge podcasts in 2019.
yeah, there was
And already, here we go in 2020.
there was. I mean, it was a pretty good. You know, there was very few like things that were really like, holy shit, we gotta like make this happen stuff. Like things for the most part. You know, there were a few kind of like, I don't know, you know, how this is gonna go things, but they ended up working out very well. This one, you know, like I'm just like, since like front row usually sells out week one, you know, and we still have like close to 50% of the front row is still
Well,
at
do
sale.
you have names of the people that have bought tickets already? Like, do they have to put their names when they buy the tickets online?
I mean, I have
So
a name, yeah.
Would you like to call anybody out for not purchasing their tickets?
not
yet?
purchasing.
I mean, I need a
Because we know, I mean, the same people sit in the front row every show.
I mean, I would need a sheet comparison to see how it's been the last couple. You know, I don't know everybody's name in the front row.
All right.
I mean, there are title implications, or title shot implications, I should say.
Well, here's another thing. Okay, but before you even go into that, a little rant. I, for better or for worse, cannot at least try to make things make sense somewhat going into Tampa. And that could be to our detriment because we're trying to book stuff, actually, and book who gets the title matches in Tampa. And those tickets could be a lot better, too. You know, like we had no competition last year. And this year, I think we have 6 events going against us in the same time slot.
Yeah, it's there's a lot going on there.
I
Man, we might as well just shut it down. That's it. Turn it off. We're done. We're going home.
thought that there
See what
I thought that
happens
there
when
would
you're
be
not around?
I thought there would be way less shows in Florida, and it is double to triple what it was.
Why would you think that,
Yeah.
though? I mean, based on the
Because
success of all
because the
Who
East
doesn't wanna go
Coast
to Florida?
The East Coast is like there's independents growing on trees there.
Yeah, but the fucking Florida also fucking has a pretty big fucking culture, and even if you
But
look
in-
back, the East Coast Indies used to fucking like, I mean, Full Impact Pro, fucking ROH, fucking
Yeah,
That's all
ECW
indie.
but all
used to
those-
run
That's
out of
all
Florida.
indie. That is
all those indies that you talk about are traveling to Florida.
No, there's all sorts of new ones. Like
Well, it's easier to-
shows start on Tuesday this year.
Easier to get to Florida from Texas. I
With
know that
Ganja
much.
Championship
I think
wrestling.
there's a couple Texas promotions.
Who the hell
going
would want to
over
go to
there.
Florida as opposed to New Jersey?
I did not think that there would
that's
be.
true.
I did not think that there would be as many shows in Florida. The travel sucks for everybody.
Travel does not look promising.
I almost
The
fucking traveled to
Airbnb
Florida
suck
one
for
time.
everybody.
I don't care about that because
The accommodation.
Like I said, if I go, it's going to be a half a day. And last year I put myself in the hospital.
I mean, this is the
trying to go,
homecoming for
so-
me since I'm first generation Midwestern. So
Yeah, so it's I don't know what's going on in 2020 so far with the tickets. You know, and like even the Akron show with Scott Hall, like front row sold out, but then it's just like there's a long way to go on all this stuff.
So John Thorne's panicking.
We didn't realize that this was going to devolve into a stern talking to the AIW
Yeah.
fan base.
Hey man,
But you
You know,
gotta tell it like it is.
I took January off for a reason, and I don't know. You
Come
know,
on, you lightweights, open up those wallets.
well, no, it's everyone's like they want shows every weekend, and this is why we don't do shows every weekend. You know, like it's stressful. I did not think that we would still have front row tickets available for a show in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That never happens. So I'm hoping things pick up. You know, I'm trying to make some kind of big deal happen to where like we can get an attraction or some sort of signing person.
Working on it. Tom Lawler versus Jeff Cobb, to me, is an attraction.
I thought that was like a for sure like
This is Jeff's
sell tickets.
second time in AIW
Yeah, second
ever.
time. Second.
He
Jeff
is
was there for a very special night of mine.
and he's been under contract, not being able to do any
Yeah.
independence outside of PWG.
People have wanted us to bring him back for a long time.
He became a free agent he's still working with Ring of Honor, but he's working without a contract, so he can take bookings. And I messaged him within minutes of seeing that news and locked it down. And I was like, "This is the match right here. Like this is the match." And we did sell some tickets off of that announcement, but that just shows you how fucking shitty the tickets were before then.
The last time we saw Jeff Cobb in AIW,
He wrestled at Tequila Jacks.
It's Tequila Jacks,
Yeah.
and it was
never even
Tequila Jacks at the
He
time.
never even wrestled in Cleveland.
It wasn't Music Links. Season of the Witch, right? Against Ray
Yeah.
Rowe.
Hell of a night.
Worldwide made some memories that night.
He sure did. Yeah.
Does he
Jeff Cobb
remember
had a
him?
laugh.
It was
Does he remember them?
There was an
Oh, yeah, I
alarm
remember.
going
Oh,
off.
that's the
That was
car.
the car alarm
one.
night.
Car
Yeah, okay,
alarm.
yeah.
Real heads know.
I tell you what, I shouldn't have drank this fucking coffee so early in the morning here.
You're awfully jittery
to
here.
be.
Well, you're
Yeah.
all business now. You got your haircut. You got your Starbucks. You're all corporate now. And
Beard's all lined up.
you're yelling about the bottom line to everybody. Who are you, Vince?
It's tax season, and you're my tax guy. I got to get the bottom line moving.
It has nothing to do with me.
Well, I guess since we
God.
already were talking.
I've been using the Stash app too, worldwide.
Really?
I have.
Oh, wow.
I got a lot of investments going in the Stash app.
Oh yeah, what are you invested in?
Oh man, all kinds of weird stuff, all kinds of weird like funds and things like that.
Do
Like
you have Cash App? I
Oh,
just
yeah.
finally downloaded that because I had to
It's
pay
better
somebody
than
for
Venmo.
comedy.
I don't know if it's better than Venmo, but Venmo doesn't work for my
Apparently,
bank. So.
apparently you can do stocks in Cash App.
Huh.
It was a.
My Cash
an
App
option
is
on there for me.
$Tower Skin. For anyone asking, I'm
Findom over here.
I work out in the gym, 4 to 6 days a week. I got some like sweaty socks, undies,
Don't give this
regular
fucking
stuff.
guy-
Hashtag pay pig.
don't give this fucking guy any money. Buy some tickets.
All right.
Yeah.
Buy some tickets, and then also, like I
Are
said,
you guys
I got
talking about-
socks, underwear.
I guess talking
fucking-
about these apps. I have a broker. I don't know what
Oh,
I am broke.
I'm not doing stocks whatsoever. Yeah, I'm broker. Exactly.
I got $324.57 in play in the market right now.
How much are you?
how's that going for you?
I'm
What'd you start with?
I'm plus 3.37%.
3.37?
Yeah.
So you're up
All right.
like 58 cents.
Yeah, man, whatever.
Hey, every little bit helps.
Well, since
I'm up, brother. I'm
Full
up.
of fucking tanks again. Fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, well,
Some guy told me we need a market crash.
Oh, we're
Well,
coming.
we
for one.
never need one, but we're due for one.
He says,
it's coming.
he says this guy I talked to. He says you got to get ready. You got to
Well,
buy
Juicy's
something. You got to buy something that you want to. You don't need the money back for 15 years. He said we really need a market crash. And I don't know what the fuck he's talking
what
about.
he's talking about that is he wants a market crash so all the prices drop, all the values drop. So then you flood them, you start buying everything because you know it's going to go back up. Just like when it went down to 6,000, everybody went, "Holy shit! I lost everything," and now it's at almost 29,000 again. So it all comes back.
Worldwide, you were saying
the more you know.
Oh yeah, Juicy J was
Don't
on
steal
Twitter
my-
a few
my
weeks
line.
ago.
Juicy J. Okay.
No, Juicy J was like, "Hey, recession's coming. Save your money."
Who is Juicy J?
From the
36
3-6 Mafia.
a bunch of shit.
Okay.
Ventures in Hollywood.
Not an Uso. That's Uso.
No. I was afraid to ask. I thought maybe it was some dude
People think
that
a
hangs
rec-
out at. Now that's class.
People think a recession's coming if Trump gets reelected, but we're not even going to get into
Well,
that.
no, it's the fucking roaring
That has
20s,
nothing-
baby.
that has
We're heading
nothing to
for a
do with
real
it.
bad one.
Well, since we
WeWork is like fucking.
Hey,
shit
brother, I
now.
got it.
There's all sorts of overvalued shit.
I got an $8,000 a year raise last year, so
Like I said, I got socks for sale, fucking undies, this, that. I can like work out in them. That's up to you.
all right. Well, since we're
All right, we're
already
gonna-
talking,
That's a paywall thing.
Oh wait, how about? Oh,
that should be
I
behind a
was
lot of
thinking
walls.
today, you know, like 900 numbers. How back in the day, like they would like fucking like keep you like you wanted to hear this one piece of information.
you want an
And they
AIW 900 number?
would talk like this.
and
when
keep
you called.
until you were like 7 minutes deep
Yeah.
in the call. What if we did that with Patreon, where we're like, we got this super hot information, and then da da da, and then fucking you opened up like the $5 level, and fucking blah 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 for the $10 fucking.
Well, now you
the
just told
Patreon
everybody
level.
the idea.
Well, but there is a level for $15. People get all the announcements and ticket links early. I think that's the main information that they want.
Yeah.
Well, we take it fucking even deeper and deeper until
we-
all of a sudden people have spent $75 on Patreon and they don't know how.
I did take
just so you know, that business model doesn't really exist anymore with those numbers because they went away. So I don't know if we
you know what
want
else
to do
doesn't
that.
exist anymore, and I've been thinking about it a
The
lot.
dodo.
No, fucking so
A
you
lot
know
of animals now.
there's like all sorts of like heat between like millennials, Zoomers, fucking Boomers, this that. Fucking, you know who had it real easy? Fucking baby Boomers when it came to robbing banks.
You've said this before.
I have said
Yeah.
this before. All right, never
Are
mind.
you doing a bit? Are you doing a bit worldwide?
Yeah.
I fucking
Really-
fucking-
I've heard
he
this
hates
from you
stand-up
before.
comedy.
All right,
Yeah, it sure
stop.
seems like
Worldwide's
he's
doing a bit.
yeah.
Fuck.
This is not an open mic worldwide. It's a podcast.
What is? Do you think you just got? Do you think you just got invited to sit down on the couch on Carson? This is my basement.
Hey,
You've said this.
I watched
stool.
Joker yesterday, man. I'm fucking feeling all sorts of ways.
Well, worldwide. Why don't you come over here and take a seat?
I was going to say something, and I did take some of the time off though in January, and I started getting back to work on some of the Patreon stuff and getting some of the extra podcasts up there. I know I'd been saying at the end of the year I was kind of slacking on it, so I'm getting back in the swing of things. I'm getting some stuff recorded.
Do we have more views on Worldwide's?
Not a lot.
Title match?
I don't know. I don't know.
Push the needle like we thought.
I don't know. The production was worth it. I think maybe we sold one extra.
It was still a fun afternoon.
However,
I had a good
Got
time.
positive reviews from what I saw.
I had a good time making the trailer.
If I
you gave everything away in the trailer,
if
though.
I
I think
take-
that's what did it.
if I take the Twitter reaction and transpose it into Rotten Tomatoes-esque, it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 85% fresh.
I think that's pretty good.
Well, we gotta get Meltzer to watch it so we can get the critic review.
I don't think
I mean, Filthy
everything's-
Tom's in it, so it's not completely out of the question.
My favorite part of making the trailer was the end when it just says Filthy versus Worldwide, and then you're screaming Filthy.
It would have been even better because we used the original 1954 Godzilla,
Godzilla.
theme. If we
Which is why I couldn't monetize it on YouTube.
Hey,
Talk more about lost money.
that was per Worldwide's request.
You're just getting screwed left and right, aren't you?
Fuck every which way, man.
Back to the casino. Let's go.
I got to keep my hot streak going.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm ready to buy some more scratchy lotteries.
I'm going this weekend again, probably.
But yeah, well,
last
either
time
way,
before tax season kicks
If
in.
I fucking did repeat that bit, and I did, I'm realizing now it's because I'm drunk more often than not on this podcast, and I have a little mini announcement.
You're having a kid.
no,
No, that would be one.
that'd be more than a mini.
I thought you were going to say I'm having a mini me.
No, well, fucking.
Is it a surprise
There's a whole
kid?
other story with that, but well, there's no story. It's just my approach, but no, yeah, I'm going on indefinite soft sauce sabbatical.
That's good.
It's true. He did come here today, and I said, "Worldwide, I don't know how much
What
beer I
about
have."
now?
He
Let
said,
me ask you this:
I don't
question.
need it.
You say indefinite sauce sabbatical, and we all know what that means. I had one myself. I hadn't had a drink for about a month, the whole month of December, and it sucked. But does that
Include other gimmicks.
include? Is it a substance sabbatical as well?
No,
No, because I'm definitely gonna be smoking all the weed.
Okay.
And handily enough, I'm too broke for coke. So,
All right, there you go.
there you go. Just the weed.
but
Put that on a shirt.
I'm too broke for coke.
You make millions.
the shirt I need to make, I want one of those nice iron-on boys, and it says paint bowls and plug holes, and then in parentheses, shit a lot and fuck stuff.
We know a guy.
I don't think anybody wants to buy that.
Is that on a ringer?
No.
That's a good fucking life motto right there.
we know a guy that can make the shirt.
I thought you were going to say you're. I thought you were
minimum
gonna say
of
you're-
30.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say you're going to have a kid.
No. I've been basically on Poon sabbatical too. It's been weird, but
All
Me
right.
too. Not by choice though. Whoops.
So back to wrestling. Since we were already discussing it, we did get a question of how different has it been booking this year's Mania show in Tampa as opposed to last year's in Jersey City?
Oh God, you guys just want to keep me stressed out here, huh?
yeah, what the fuck?
Well, you don't have to. You can pass.
Yeah, you could say
Well,
pass.
It's difficult because I just can't find that one thing that I think the show needs.
Sure.
And I also maybe stupidly did not think there would be so much competition during our time slot. So I'm a little behind the 8 ball on a lot of stuff
Yeah.
because I thought, let's see. My approach was, here's a shell. Let's see how things start playing out and who's going to be announced, and let's maneuver things around. And then there's like 6 different things going on now. And, like people that I had booked are already booking themselves to do double shots at the same time slot. And it's just like, like now it's like everything's fucked up, So now it's like, do I even want to book these people that are doing the time slots or doing the double shots? Because that was such a fucking hassle last year.
Well, it was, but maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but I got to think Tampa's a little bit easier to get around than
Everything is
New
much
Jersey.
closer.
So they say, but I've never been there, so I don't know.
I've only been there once, but I mean, I know New York and New Jersey are impossible to get.
Yeah. So
So what takes precedent in your mind? Is it I have to book something great because we got to sell a lot of tickets, or do you throw your hands up and go, we ain't selling a lot of tickets, so I'm not going to book anybody great?
Well, that is the question. I want to book. I want to stick. Like, I don't want an all-star game. I want to book as many AIW people as I can.
We always do that, but there's always a couple things, that to pull people in. But it's like, are you going to just throw your hands up and go, well, fuck it, I'm not even going to try because?
I'm not. I mean, I have not thrown my hands up yet. I'm trying every day, and I'm sending some really off-the-wall, long-shot emails out that are probably not going to pan out. But I do have faith. I mean, but there are days where I just wake up and like I've had like what I would attribute to writer's block for like all of December. I was just like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, what the fuck? Like, what are we going to do? And then it's just like, boom, boom, boom. All these other shows get announced at the time. So it's like, it's kind of like piling on to where it's like, how do I dig myself out? And I'm worrying about this thing and this thing. And oh my God, the Airbnbs are going to cost like $5,000. Like, not to mention the regular expenses just to do the show. So it's like the expenses, which is why I didn't want to do it to begin with. And I got kind of talked into it. I did not think that so many shows were going to pop up. And then it's like, you're seeing the same kind of people on every single show, So it's like, well, if you're one of those guys or girls that are on every show, I'm kind of trying to, at this point, take you off the board, because you could be seen 10 other times throughout the weekend.
Maybe there's like someone you could match them up with that they're not going to.
Well, that's the thing. But it's like, it has to be the right situation. So it's like, if you guys want to talk about obsessive compulsive, like I have like an A, B, C, D, and E card. And none of it is for sure. None of it is set in stone. And it's like some of it, it's like, oh, this could happen if B on match 6 does not happen. It's like, I'm driving myself insane, honestly, doing it this year.
So it's becoming a Venn diagram.
It is.
Where you're just trying to cover the whole show.
It's more like
trying to put a show in one circle.
It's more like the detective boards where you got all the pictures.
It's like so many suspects.
Charlie Day gif where he's got all the things.
When we stop podcasting, I'll show you the notes on my phone. It's all over the place. But no, I'm not giving up and saying like the hell with it. Like I still think we're gonna put on one of the best shows. It's just a matter of what I need some stuff to start falling into place, or I need to start kind of saying like fuck it and go way outside the box on some stuff. I do have faith in our crew. We pulled it off last year. I think we're going to pull it off even better this year now that we have experience. But going back to what I was saying earlier, like I just, for whatever reason, I can't just be like this match versus like this guy versus this guy's happening for the title in Tampa. Like we have like three or four shows, I think, before we go to Tampa. You know what I mean? It's like I have to do at least some sort of booking, even if it's just like you're seeing on the 7th. Like we're taking 6 guys that won in December, and they're all fighting for a title shot. All 6 of those guys won in December. Same thing, tag for the tag titles. We're taking 4 good contenders, and we're putting them in a match. And it's just like, then we could at least have some sort of story. And I don't know how many regular AIW fans are coming. I don't know if that's the wrong approach, but for my just sanity, I need to try to make it make some sort of sense.
Well, but the good thing about that too is even if the AIW fans can't go,
well, they're going to buy it.
They can buy it,
and it's going to make sense to them.
They can buy it on Fight TV, and still,
that's the payoff for that.
Right,
that all your regular fans, then when you come back and we run our next show up here, it'll all make sense.
But obviously the plan is you want that place packed like it was last year.
Well, yeah, sure.
And we have a very good lead in with Bloodsport. That's going to be packed. The hope is, and I'll say this: our individual tickets are slow, but the collective ticket packages have doubled what they were last year already. So that is a different. That's different, but a lot of that is general admission. You know what I mean? So if I could get 400 or 500 people, I will be ecstatic at that number. With the ticket packages, it's not that unrealistic, but I kind of look at that as like the bonus.
As we were saying, you're going to get way more streams than you did last year. I would assume.
I would say that we had
a fucking shit fuck ton of streams last year.
But you're going to get all the people that around here that aren't going. That
we had a lot more people there last year than what I think we would this year.
There was a lot of our fans that went to New Jersey.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I think
so. It's just it's stressful because you want to stay true to AIW, but then you're looking at 40 plus other shows you're competing with.
Sure.
In this, people say, there's 100,000 fans on there, but like, how many of them give a shit about indie wrestling? It ain't.
Well, there's a lot of them where there wouldn't be 6 shows running Thursday night at midnight.
But that's the thing are people just doing it thinking that they're going to be there? Like I don't necessarily think that there's that many fans to go around for the independent shows.
Because also, this is down. What fucking theme parks and shit are near Tampa?
No, just Busch Gardens.
Yeah,
Busch Gardens. All right, so it's not like fucking
Disney,
they have like a million other things.
Yeah, Disney's like an hour
Is that
away.
Six Flags? Isn't there a Six Flags down there? Is that Busch Gardens?
I know there's a Busch
Isn't there
Gardens.
Six Flags over
I think there
Tampa?
was at one point. Yeah, I don't know if there still is.
I don't know.
I only know
Tampa
that
Bay's a piece of shit, but
I only know that because like trying to book Airbnbs, there's like, oh, this one's this far from Busch Gardens, but and it's just like I have ideas, I have offers out, but it's like some people aren't getting back to me, or this idea I had, I found out somebody else has booked already, so it's like you don't want to do it twice, or you don't want to book this attraction guy 4 times in the same building, you know what I mean? Because it just gets watered down at that point. You have diminishing returns.
Let me ask you this. And it's going to maybe put you in a weird spot, but John Thornton, always candid. Is it tough for you to see some of the guys that have really made AIW a home, and this is where they really grew, now go on to other promotions and people are starting to pay attention to them there? And so when somebody sees them, let's say a Matt Justice, for example, and he's starting to pop up in a GCW more, and people are associating him with that, do you think that, is there a little bit of a struggle with you for that, where you wish people would recognize more so like, hey, this is kind of the home brand, and Tampa is your opportunity to see it. If you're never coming to Cleveland, this is where these guys made their name.
Well, I mean, there's pluses and minuses to that, obviously. Obviously GCW is coordinating the collective for the most part. So,
all right, they're a great
you're
partner.
going to have a lot of people that follow things that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Is it disappointing that maybe people would be like, oh, that's just like the guy that's in, the whatever match at a GCW show and he's the headliner at this show? Maybe that has an impact. I don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know. Like, are people going to be like, oh, like that's just a mid-card indie guy or whatever? You know what I mean? Or like a Danhausen, for example.
It's a double-edged sword, because I feel like in regard to your like, oh, that's their hometown deal, because I feel like fans are less and less like historically minded of like recent history.
Yeah, I don't.
Than they've ever been.
Yeah,
I'm like, there are fans that have got into like wrestling like 5 years ago, that like you like try to talk to them about like 2010, 2011 Chikara, and it's like nothing there.
But to what you were saying, I don't think people look, and to run with your example, I don't think people look at Matt Justice and go, oh, he's in the 3rd match on GCW and he's a double champion in AIW, so that means AIW isn't as good. I don't think people look at wrestling that way anymore.
No, I'm not thinking.
I think they just want to be entertained and watch dudes do stupid shit.
Yeah, so
and
that's
there's nobody
also
better
so much
at
easier
that than
to
him.
fucking watch it now.
Not so much that, but like
I was saying, like Danhausen, for example. Like, I hate to say it, but I don't even want to book Danhausen because he's already on like something like 10 or 11 shows, and it's
He
like
has his own show.
and he has his own show dedicated to him. And
So this-
same thing, same thing kind of with AJ Gray. Like, these guys are AIW guys, but they're also kind of on the bubble because and getting on the AIW lineup, and it's no offense to them, but it's like in that environment, they are viewed differently. You know what I mean? So like, and I feel like a guy, say, for example, that has his own show going on
Right.
is going to market that harder than any of his.
And rightfully so. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, do you want to go see Danhausen at AIW, or do you want to go to Danhausen Vania or whatever it's called on Saturday night? You know what I mean?
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. So it's like,
Vania.
I'm struggling with that. It's just like, not so much like the guys that are doing GCW or whatever, but it's more like, okay, like Danhausen's been around for years. I don't think people realize that. You know what I mean?
So this is what I'm saying. Is basically because Tampa is a great point where all of that comes together. Right now, you see all of these guys in different places popping up, whether it's Danhausen, AJ, Matt Justice. Everybody's getting different opportunities. But there's, Mance Warner, Tom Lawler is even doing more and more, Dom doing more and more, and people are discovering them in different ways. But there's just something about when it all comes together on one show at AIW, and to me, that's like, it becomes almost frustrating. It's like, all right, well, people can say, well, I'm going to go to this show because I can see that guy there, so I'm not really going to go see AIW. But there's something special about all of that. All that coming together, because that's what's made the
That comes
brand.
down to how you use them and
Sure.
how you present them.
And also, just marketing going into the thing.
Yeah, and like that's why I said there's an A, there's a B, there's a C, there's a D, there's an E lineup right now. And it's like, it's no offense to these guys. Like, even I talked to Danhausen in December, and, he's like, I can't do this date, I can't do this date, I can't do this date, because, I got a West Coast loop booked on this day through this day. So it's like, he had to pull off like AIW dates, which I understand. He's making his money. He's not
Right.
making his big paydays in AIW. But it's just kind of like, it kind of comes with the territory of giving guys a platform and they reach a certain extent, and then it's kind of like they're off into the world. Like, come full circle, go back to Ethan Page. Like,
Right.
Ethan Page was a guy that AIW was like one of his only bookings for at one point, and now it's impossible to book him because I'm not gonna say like, hey, like, come in and for less, and they know that I'm not gonna pay what that new astronomical fee is. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of like a stalemate with some talents. That's just kind of how it goes business wise.
Yeah.
And if AIW does usually draw well, but our ticket prices compared to some of these other independents where these guys are going are extremely low. Like a lot of indies are going 50 to the 100 plus for front rows these days.
And our main crowd can't necessarily afford
Well,
that. So
no, absolutely not.
This is a different area.
So it's like, it just comes down to business to where it's like, like an Ethan Page, like, hey man, like, these are the dates I have. Let me know what you can do. And, that's kind of how it happens with these guys that kind of blow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, or, like the same thing with Danhausen. It's like, he's like, I want to do as many AIW shows as I can. And I was like, I understand that, but you also have to go make your money.
Yeah.
He quit his job. He quit his job.
He's got to make that money. Does it make it that much? Is it that much of a bigger deal to you then when a guy like Kevin Owens is on anything WWE and he's talking AIW, and you know what I mean, and putting that name out there?
I mean, it's definitely appreciated. I do think that AIW does not get the props within the industry maybe I feel it deserves.
Yeah.
But that's also, I'm living in a bubble of AIW as well. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm not watching a lot of other shows. I'm not, AIW is my life. So, of course, I feel that it is better than everything.
Yeah.
But that's probably not necessarily true, but that's how I feel because you have to believe in what you're presenting. So to go to the Kevin Owens thing, I'll be blatantly honest. I understand that he said something, but I know it always involves Biggins, and I can't watch that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so like I did not watch what he said. People told me what he said, but just from where I'm at and like how close that is, I can't watch that stuff because then that takes me totally out of like
Sure.
everything, you know, and like it sounds bad, but I have to do what I can to keep the train moving, and like I can't
No, it makes
watch that
sense.
stuff that's going to be disappointing and then risk getting into like a funk. And but it is very appreciative that he is more than anybody champions AIW on such a big stage when he had in the grand scheme of things so little to do with it compared to other people.
Yeah.
That is like what makes you kind of realize who the good guys are and who the good girls are. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot more people that could be championing. I can't say it. Championing AIW, but they aren't. And that's not a bitter thing for me or whatever. It's just facts. Like, we've worked with a lot of people.
But is that that's unnecessary thing? So two necessary things to me, and elaborate or correct it how you will. Two necessary things to me to keep AIW or brands like AIW going. One, replenishing the talent as you're doing with the school, and two, something that maybe doesn't happen enough, are more people like Kevin Owens or somebody in that platform. Or take, for example, when somebody asked something about Seth Rollins and Johnny Gargano, and Seth Rollins said, that happened in AIW once.
Yeah, I mean,
things like that.
things like
those
that
are necessary.
things like
to
that
keep
help
these brands.
But you can't fucking depend
Strong.
on that shit to happen.
Yeah,
no.
But
no, the train, like I said, the train has to keep moving.
Yeah.
But I do feel that if more people did it over the years, especially now, it would help raise awareness to where we're at. But like Worldwide said, I can't count on that.
Sure.
So it's like I have to figure out
bonus.
it's like it's bonus. I have to figure out how to keep it going. And like you said, turnover, I feel on talent is great. And that is why, like some guys just go away for a while, for better or worse. Like, like the AEW thing, like everyone's like, when's this guy coming back? When's this guy coming back? Guys, they just left. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It hasn't even been 6 months
Right.
for some of these guys. Like, we have it's a constant revolving door. It's just like, okay, like Joey Janela could help AIW quite a bit. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's like when you put Joey Janela on, somebody's got to go.
Sure.
It's just like that's one thing that people don't think about either. It's like, well, who stays, who goes? Like,
Well, I mean, we haven't been able to. Case in point, we haven't been able to book the Fuckets in forever,
Right.
Because the tag team division
And it's
is
just
so loaded right now,
and it that
those
has
guys-
nothing
and they had
nothing
so
to do
much.
with nothing to do with them. It's
Nothing.
just
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like they come in for a little bit and then they have to go away because now you got the Bitcoin boys and now you got all these other teams and I've said it a million times. I have an obligation to try to do things with these students for better
Yeah.
and then we also have all this talent that is just traveling in every show in hopes of getting a dark match now.
right.
Yeah, we do have, and I don't know if that happens everywhere, but we didn't used to have dark matches, and now it seems like
Now there's like 15 guys that show up and they're like,
dark
hey,
matches on every show,
Yeah,
and it's just like,
yeah.
and they're all nice guys, and they all,
and they're all very talented guys.
You'd love to have
Yeah.
5 dark matches so they
Yeah.
can all have an opportunity, but that can't be.
And it's like, look, we started incorporating new guys like CPA, VSK, Bear Country.
Yeah.
People like fresh talent, I think.
Sure.
But they also like the old talent too. And
people like everything. It's just like anything else. People like to have more of stuff than they know that they need.
Yeah.
And you can't have a 15 match card on every show when every show you're going to stream and you got to get out of there in 3 hours.
So
or whatever it is.
Which actually, this will bring everything full circle, as we started talking about people needing to buy tickets to come to the show on February 7th, and some of the disgruntled things that John Thorne was saying was that, we have people who want us to have shows each and every week. Yes, we have the talent depth that we probably could do that, but case in point, once again, we need you to consistently buy tickets, and we are still a promotion where that is
But
a concern.
if we did that, they wouldn't be the same shows that we have now. They'd be student shows, they'd be
100%.
low budget shows, they'd be whatever.
And I think there's a place for that. And
it's fine.
I
if you
do.
can find something that
I
works.
do want to. I'm trying to find ways to do more stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the main shows at the Odeon, at the place that costs us money to rent, where we try to feature the tippy top tier of the talent,
Yeah.
that has to sell tickets.
Right.
And if it doesn't, then I can't take the risk on the, hey, we're doing a show, all students, all locals.
Yeah.
Like, let's see what happens.
You can't take. So a lot of people liked the mystery.
Can't take a
style
risk
booking.
on that if we're not selling
Can't do
tickets.
that. Can't do that.
You know, and like if
Yeah.
Joey Janelle, let's be honest, like everyone that's listening, like seriously look in the mirror and ask yourself this question. If Joey Janela versus Alex Shelley and Joey Janela's final AIW match was not announced, would you have come and risked that? I don't think a lot of people would have.
Right.
And that's why we never did it before, because, people want to know everything in advance. Like, they want to know every single match. Some people get mad when there's the extra match on there because they didn't know about it. And it's just, it's so hard to juggle. I had a point that I was going to say when you're saying you were tying it all together, and now I've just totally forgot what it was.
Well, let's end on a fun one for you then. Here, this question posed. On Twitter.
I know what I was going to say. Hold on. Before we go on, I will say the advantage, I think, of independent wrestling TV is it will give AIW somewhat of a level playing field with some of the other companies, to say, like, for people to realize, like, hey, this isn't bad. Okay. Like, I'm not saying we're comparable or whatever, but there are some people that are just like, I'm not watching that. It's, like, people have preconceived notions for whatever it is. I think live streams to new fans on independent wrestling TV can definitely help raise our profile, and people can see that we run an efficient show. We time things, like, everyone's got an earpiece.
We do now.
Like, things are very, very tight. And I think that is a benefit of the independent wrestling TV streams. And like I've said before, we are going to continue some stuff on Fight, but we're kind of using February 7th as a prime example of, like, hopefully we're going to appeal to people that are going to Tampa, because that service has far more subscribers than we would probably sell to on a Fight stream.
And the hope, I think, there then is you look at, case in point, the guys that are all vying for the title opportunity in Tampa in that 6-man. People can tune into that and be like, oh my God, I watched this guy in this promotion on IWTV, and I watched this guy in this promotion, and I watch him in this promotion, and hopefully they see, like, all of those guys are on AIW.
Right.
I had no idea. And so, that's our hope with that. Well, let's end with a fun one for you, John. This question posed on Twitter by @RichHomieJuice, and he wants to know the worst Twitter account on the AIW roster.
PB Smooth. Easily.
On what basis?
Nothing he tweets does anything to, like, progress his career. It's just, like, nonsense.
I think that's
I can't relate to that.
I think that's the stance that he has taken as of late, is that he just wants to have Twitter be Twitter and just be.
It's nonsense.
He's just living his life, man.
Yeah. I think that
I still don't understand the chapstick thing.
I think he's taking a step back and he's like,
Chapstick
I just want to
thing
have
is
fun
weird.
with Twitter.
I mean, it all makes sense in PB's head,
How much
man.
is he selling the chapstick for?
I don't know. $1, I think.
He's moving them, though.
Is
I
he?
mean,
From what
Yeah,
I
but,
gather,
like-
from what I gather,
Yeah, they
he's moving
move.
them.
They move. Look at this. The wheels are turning over here.
Well,
Worldwide
no.
10.
I mean, I have a shitty fucking Cleveland brand thing of fucking chapstick in my fucking fanny pack right now, but that's like 99 cents at the gas station.
Yeah, I think
So
PB
how much?
only.
I mean, if
I think
he's
only
getting
sells them for
$5
like
for this.
$1. I think only
He's
sells
selling
them
for
for.
$1. How the fuck is he getting the
I don't think he's getting $5 for them.
I don't think he's getting
he's
$5.
moving them.
You gotta
Yeah,
sell
I
for
think
more than
I
that.
Whatever
think
he's selling for, they're moving.
There's multiple people within the industry that think and agree that PB Smooth has the worst Twitter account in all of professional wrestling.
Wow.
If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But
I don't feel so bad now.
I'll get some DMs from some certain contracted.
I think
talents about this.
PB Smooth has the worst Twitter account in all of AIW for sure.
That's a weight off my shoulders.
Poor PB.
You have
Well,
the
at least-
you have the worst Instagram.
What the fuck's bad with my fucking Instagram?
You have the most confusing Twitter account of anyone.
Your Instagram stories when you're not on a soft sabbatical are insane.
See what you.
I've been sober for like a week. I mean, have they been fucking where they been at?
I'm saying
the important
saying
thing.
I
the-
stopped pissing on the gram.
I'm
so
saying
that's something.
I'm saying the complete body of work on your Instagram.
Hold on. The important thing here is you've managed to with Thorne being able to bust on PB Smooth there as we wrap up.
Yeah.
He stepped off the ledge. He's taken the rope off the beam momentarily
it looks-
for the lack of ticket sales, and he's smiling a little bit.
Yep.
And
And,
so that's
and as
that's
we
the
end
important
this,
thing.
maybe you've seen on Instagram or Twitter, there will be new AIW merchandise on February 7th.
New or old? Are those old shirts?
new.
Are they
They're new.
Old design.
What's old is new.
Old design though, right?
Well, traditional logo, new shirts.
Okay.
Old design.
And apparently we have 3Xs as somebody complained we wouldn't have, and there's all sorts of 3Xs.
I
There
don't
you
know.
go.
I saw it on Twitter.
3X. Always got to make one 5X, one 4X, a few 3Xs.
Eric Ryan,
Yeah.
some guy was like, "Oh, they probably have me 3Xs," and Eric Ryan took a picture, and there was a host of 3Xs.
Provided by our
There was more
wonderful,
X's than on
A
original Juice's
menagerie of
Twitter.
X's.
our wonderful friends at JPEG Custom Screen Printing and Embroidery, which, Eric.
Brand new printing sponsor.
Yeah.
So we got all sorts of, we got softball style T-shirts coming.
Three-quarter
there
tee,
as
yeah.
well. Those are going to be sweet.
And to close for myself, I just want to say,
Are we getting Tampa tanks for Tampa?
Depends on how my cardio sessions go the next couple months.
All right.
beefing these boys
but,
out fucking.
So we'll just end on this. Some things I talked about with Eric about the merchandise. We're gonna do like short runs of like maybe there's only 3 available of this certain color scheme, and once those are gone, they're gone, until however long from
Going
now.
all Walt Disney on us?
We're trying-
They're going to the vault.
Going to the
Once they're
vault,
gone,
baby.
They're gone.
Yep.
Right next to our copy of Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah.
So
Going to the vault.
that is another incentive for all you ghouls that want AIW merch. Like, as of now, we're not going to do anything online. It's only going to be at the live show. So either you or you have to send somebody to the show to get it for you.
Buy tickets, come to the shows.
We're working on all sorts of crazy stuff. You know, some people saw like there's a purple shirt available. Like everybody wants the purple shirt. I think there's only 2.
Baseball tees.
You know, baseball tees, 3/4 tees.
I would like that. I would like
There's a turquoise one.
I
For that long-awaited, AIW
Here's one
softball
for you.
team.
I want a button-up baseball
You want jersey?
jersey that buttons like down the front.
Well, just
but it's a T-shirt, but like a baseball shirt.
You just say, will it be like personalized and have the Duke on the back?
Well, I might do that when I buy it, but it just said AIW on the front.
And your number will be money signs?
I'm petitioning for some Alpha Beta Duke T-shirts. Can we get that throwback?
We don't know where the
We don't
design
have the
is.
logo.
We need the design.
yeah,
It's being held
I have to
hostage.
see. I have to see if I don't know if I have a shirt still. If I have a shirt, yeah.
It's being held hostage by Arise Prince.
All right. Final thoughts here?
I apologize for recycling that joke earlier. I'm going to do better
no
on the
problem.
podcast,
No
you
problem.
guys. I'm going to do better. I'm going to have a sharper mind in 2020. 2020 vision worldwide.
All right.
There you go.
All right, that's it, guys.
Yep. For worldwide, for
Buy
the
tickets.
Duke,
Buy
for-
tickets. Buy tickets. Buy tickets.
For John Thorne,
Take the wide.
My name's Steve Guy. We'll talk to you next week right here on The Card is Going to Change.